Hey everyone, I'm Spicy Berms, and this is my long-term review of my 2019 Commencal Meta AM. I purchased this bike in June 2019, and since then I've put about 1,200 kilometers on it, and it's been great. I love this bike. I even gave it a name, Shiitake, because it kind of looks like a mushroom. Now, if you're wondering why you're watching a review of a 2019 bike in 2020, Commencal only really changed a few things. They upgraded some of the componentry, they went to Eagle, a couple other things, went from Maxxis to Schwalbe tires. I think they're all pretty welcome changes. I paid $32.99 for this bike before tax. It comes with some great componentry for that price. You get a Lyric RC, which is kind of nuts. It's the lowest end one, I believe, but it gets the job done for sure. It came with a Maxxis DHF up front and a Maxxis Aggressor in the back. And they were good tires. They weren't the best compound that they make. I eventually wore them out and I replaced them with some WTB Vigilantes in the front, 2.6, and a WTB Trail Boss 2.4 in the back. It comes with great componentry for the price, and as you go up in the price, the componentry only gets better. But really, what you're buying is the frame. This frame is the same as their most expensive anniversary edition frame, just a different color. That leaves you lots of room to upgrade, and I think it's a bike that I'll have for a long time. The only issue I've had with this frame is the weld right here is right where your leg will wear the paint. There's no way to protect that weld with any sort of protective tape because it's on a weld. It'll just look terrible or it won't even stick to it. So that's one issue I've had with the frame itself. Otherwise, the pivots have been good. The paint everywhere else has been good. It comes with a great frame guard on the down tube. The other thing this bike comes with is a chainstay protector. It's on there really well, and it also has routing for the rear derailleur cable. This bike is very quiet. Part of that is to do with that chainstay protector, but part of it is also because this Formula hub doesn't really make any noise whatsoever. It's not going to be a loud Hope hub or anything like that. The in-house componentry from Commencal, known as Ride Alpha, they're actually pretty good components. They hold up really well. They're quite light too. The saddle that came with this bike was really comfortable. It just didn't look as cool as this one. The stem I still use. The handlebars were not a riser handlebar, and I do like having the rise just a little bit, so I replaced it, but it's still a great handlebar. The most important thing to any pink bike commenter is it has a water bottle cage mount in the frame, not on the outside, so it's probably the best bike that's ever been made. For upgrades I've made to the bike, I put on a Chromag Trailmaster LTD, one of their nice leather seats, purely for aesthetics. It looks sick. I love how it looks on this bike. The stock one that came with it is also good, but I just like how this one looks. I threw on some rev grips. Now, when I was riding bike park with this, my hands would kind of blow up. They would almost let go of the bar. As soon as I put these on, it was an immediate difference. I don't get hand pain anymore. If you do get hand pain on the bike, just try those. They're so good. Another upgrade I made is the Megneg on this RockShox Deluxe. Now, I couldn't get enough progression out of this bike before that. And as soon as I put that Magnag on and played around with it, got it dialed in, it was better. I don't bottom the thing out hard anymore. Even though I got this bottomed out all the way, it's just fell down there. And in fact, the bike pedals better too. It's a big difference, and I think Rock Chalk should just throw the Magnag on there by default. Next time you bring your bike in for a rear shock maintenance, throw the Magnag on. It doesn't cost as much. It comes with most of the parts that you need for a maintenance anyways. So it's the way to do it. The only problems I've had with the Componentry have been with the KS Lev dropper post. It's kind of finicky. It doesn't go down that well when I need it to. Tried everything. It doesn't really work. The other problem I've had is with the rear hub. It's a Formula hub. One of the pawls has worn off on this hub. I'm only 1,200 kilometers in, and I've got to replace the hub. Not Commencal's fault. It's what bike companies seem to do to save money. It is a little bit shorter in the reach than most common enduro bikes now. I'm not the tallest person. I'm 5'11". This bike fits me very well. It's a large, and at my height, I'm on the low end of that scale. It just seems to fit me very well. Some other people that are taller that are still in the range have jumped on this thing and they found it small. So just something to consider. I'm not going to say go out and buy an XL, but just if you can, hop on one of these before you purchase one. So this bike, it's an enduro bike. It's not going to be as poppy or playful as, a trail bike or some hardtail or something like that. It's made to go downhill fast, and it does that. You can point it straight down at something and it'll, for the most part, go down it. On the flow stuff, it's great. Once I put the Magnag on, there was a lot more progression. It just kind of seemed to hold on to the corners better. I didn't lose the back end as much. Now it kind of hugs the ground a little bit better. Before that, I would say it kind of chattered a bit too much, but now it seems to do great. On the really steep stuff, the steep rock rolls that have jank in them, this bike will hold on to the ground. You will not have a problem with it bouncing you out of your line on the steep stuff. Point the bike, you let go of the brakes, and it'll do it. This bike is not the best climber. It does okay, it'll get you to the top. It's not a cross-country bike. It will climb technical stuff. It's not the best. It's also not the lightest bike around. So once you get into the technical climb, you got to use a lot more of your body to get it to get up stuff. You really got to pick your line. If you can do that, then you'll be fine probably on most bikes anyways, but this one will do it as well. It's not the lightest bike. That's definitely a drawback. It is the heaviest bike out of all my friends' enduro bikes, but it's very planted when you get going. This one just kind of plows, and it's a great feeling when you finally get the suspension dialed in for that. I love this bike. It's been such a good bike. As soon as I hopped on it, I got faster. I love this color scheme, but the new 2020s have great color schemes. I saw the blue and gold frame the other day in person. It's so sharp. That would probably be the one I would get if I was going to get another one of these. I love how the shock is actually a bit hidden in the frame. That's what initially drew me to this bike. I just think it's the best looking frame out there. The price that Commencal sells these at, especially at the end of the season, it's unbeatable. There's, other direct to consumer brands, but I think this one is probably the best spec'd for the price, or equally spec'd anyways. I don't think you can be disappointed from, the bigger direct to consumer brands, and I think this bike is no exception. If you hopped on one of these, you'd probably have a blast. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm Spicy Berms, and this was my long-term review of my 2019 Commencal Meta AM.